recent episode of Loki like a 2, and then Tomorrow War like a 3. You're crazy. Those are both really good.
Welcome to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. It's Brad, Eric, and Josh, and we are not overrated or underrated. We're just about rated just perfectly. We're above average, that's for sure. We're here to break down the NFC and AFC South teams. There are some teams out there in this one. I'll tell you what. It's really hard when you start doing the research for this, and the first team you do is the Texans, and you're like, ugh.
Don't like that.
Oh.
I got some interesting stats for that.
Okay. We'll get into that in a minute.
Really? That's
Before
good.
we do it, how you boys doing?
Oh, I'm great, dude. Eric?
I'm fighting a cold, but I'm fighting as best I can. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you look good.
The Mucinex is helping out, so I appreciate that.
I'm pumped, dude. I'm moving in 24 days. I'm so pumped.
I was doing good until my cat decided not to use this litter box anymore.
Oh no!
And just use the downstairs stairwell. Yeah, to the basement. Yeah.
Did you put it down?
I'm giving her a chance. I'm blaming it on me for changing the kitty litter and going back to a different kind. So I'm giving it causing it to me first.
Hey, but that chest meat or that hamburger meat's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, buddy.
Is that turning gray, bud? What's up with that?
No, it's just the lighting.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Shallow V-neck for Brad. Shallow.
Yeah, shallow V, not deep V. Can't go deep V. I don't have
Too
the
much
muscle
body hair for
definition I
deep
had
V.
back in my 20s. I'm still doing better than Lex Luger. What he's looking like now, but hey.
Oh, hey, now.
Josh, have you watched those documentaries on A&E? Like Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior?
That's not fair. Lex Luger, well, he had an issue on the plane.
Yeah, he had an issue. He killed Macho Man's ex-wife.
Oh my goodness.
Starting out hot. All right. Well, first of all, before we get too deep into this, I'm going to tell you about our website, fsa-fr.com. Our redraft league is closed. We have 96 people from all over the world who signed up. Highest membership in a couple years, I believe. So it's looking really good this year.
Yeah.
I think we could have went more, but it causes a lot of work for Brian because he does every logo custom. Now, just because you didn't get into redraft league and you didn't get into dynasty doesn't mean that we still don't have options for you. You can go there. There is a veterans only league. There's still a kickers and quarterbacks only league. There's also the monkey knife fight league. We have plenty of stuff going on for you. So just because you didn't make it into one of the bigger redrafts and dynasty leagues doesn't mean that there's not something for you. So please go check that out. Go check out our sister show, The Average Bros. They're going to be on every Tuesday night. Brian, the godfather of Fantasy Sports Alliance, he's on every Wednesday night, and he does a great job with the Fanatically Real broadcast. So we encourage you guys to go check it out. All of our stuff is at the bottom, fsa-fr.com, and we are just so excited with everything that we get to do here, and we absolutely love you guys. So please check it out once again, fsa-fr.com.
Yep, the Average Bros and the Fanatically Real broadcast, they've been recapping all the FSA rookie drafts for Dynasty. So if you have a team and you want to hear how they think you did, go back and listen to those. You can subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, all that fun stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, it's average at best. I don't like what they said about mine.
Oh,
yeah, wasn't too happy.
All right.
All right.
I'm in a rebuild, boys. I'm in a rebuild.
Well, we've all been there. I know.
Hey, all right. Now, you guys have anything else you want to talk to before we get to the news?
Yeah, I got to talk about our broadcast sponsor, Football Darts.
Hey, okay.
We want to thank our broadcast sponsor, Football Darts. Football Darts is a dart game that combines the skill of traditional darts with the strategies of American football. This innovative dart game is played on a uniquely designed multiple target dartboard. Unlike traditional British darts, Football Darts is a game that combines both the skill of darts and the strategies of football. It can be played in sports bars, at tailgate events, as league tournaments, or as a leisure activity in the comfort of your home. If you would like to check out their officially licensed collegiate dartboards, go to footballdarts.com. If you're watching with us, or if you're an audio listener, you can see we got a promo code scrolling across the bottom there. I play FSA, all caps, all one word, to get 30% off at footballdarts.com. And if you're playing in FSA, they are a bowl sponsor. If you're in that bowl and you win, you might get a nice little gift from Football Darts.
Maybe that's a bowl I'm trying to get into this year, boys. All right,
let's go.
Music City Bowl?
What? Nope.
Is that the one?
No.
Before we get into the news, NFL related news, we got to talk about that NCAA money. The NCAA, these guys are getting paid, baby. So they are able to benefit now off their name, image, and likeness. And what does that mean for the NFL? Because this is a fantasy show and we talk about the NFL here. It does mean something, Brad, because this means now that the drafts will not be as deep with players who are fringe players, which means, So a lot of times you have these guys who come out and they're like, oh, well, you get a 5th round draft grade, and then they end up getting drafted to a practice squad somewhere, or they get signed as a free agent. These guys might actually already be making better money in college, and it might benefit them to stay. It's true. There are some players such as Master P. His son already signed a $2 million deal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Barstool has people going now. My boy from Auburn was the first one to sign a deal at midnight 02 o'clock. He got signed by Milo's Tea. So there's all kinds of stuff. I do like what Derek King did in Miami. He got all of his offensive lineman deals as well. So I thought that was very cool. This does translate a little bit to the NFL, but it's not huge news for what we do in fantasy sports. But I do think it's something that, it's good. I like that these guys are finally going to be able to benefit off of themselves. They're the only people who couldn't on a scholarship. If you have an academic scholarship, you can still go out and get a job. So I think this is great, and that's my opinion on it. I didn't want the university straight up paying the students, but I do think that they should be able to make money. So I think this is a good deal, honestly. Eric, what do you think? Brad's frozen, so he doesn't think anything.
I'm glad that they can get paid off their likenesses and stuff like that. It's been a long time coming. I know that California passed some legislation to try and get this done, and then everybody just kind of had to follow suit after that. Otherwise, nobody would recruit anywhere else. So, it doesn't really affect us for what we normally talk about on fantasy shows. If you're in a Devy league, though, if you're in a developmental league where you can draft college players and stash them away until they're ready to play in the league, this does affect you. Because these guys might stay longer. The wide receivers might become more prima donna-ish because now they're getting paid earlier. So, everybody will be like OBJ now, at least attitude-wise. We'll see.
Oh, yeah, that's what I think. All right. Not a whole lot of other news coming out. We do have that Josh Gordon has asked to be reinstated yet again. So there's that. Not really going to be fantasy relevant anyway. Now, what is relevant, and this is relevant to team chemistry, is Eric. There was some breaking news today.
Oh, yeah.
Tell him, Eric. Tell him about your team.
The Cowboys got picked as the Hard Knocks team. Let's go. Watch them fall apart in real time.
Let's go.
I can't wait for the first major injury of camp because it'll probably be a linebacker. So
let's go, dude.
Yeah. Watch them on Hard Knocks week to week. Knock if you're with me.
Oh, so this is not good for them boys. Has anyone from Hard Knocks that was featured on the show, have they ever done well that season?
Oh, the Rams are pretty good, weren't they?
Was that the year they blew up?
Yeah.
Was that the year they went to the Super Bowl?
Well, that was last year. It was
the Raiders last year, wasn't it?
No,
it was Rams Chargers last year because they did both of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They did all right.
The Raiders did whatever. Darren Waller had a breakout.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna. They don't need any more. They don't need any more press. They get enough press as it is, and they shouldn't get any because they're terrible. But
it's hard to say like, oh, teams that are on Hard Knocks don't do good because if you're a playoff team, you can opt out of it.
Yes.
You can remove yourself.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you're a non-playoff team, if you haven't been in the playoffs in a couple of years, you don't have a choice on getting out of it.
They can just pick whoever they want.
Yeah, that's how the Patriots stay out of it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, they didn't make
yeah, everybody would love to see that. Belichick would be like, nope, you can put your camera right here and you can look that way.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So other than that, the only other news that I saw,
there'll probably be some good stuff. Mike McCarthy and Jason Garrett. Can't wait to see them.
Oh, yeah, they're awful. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get lots of nuggets from McCarthy's vast well of knowledge about football. How he studied the game so hard while he was gone. What a joke. He's the Clapper 2.0.
Also, the Washington football team owner was fined $10 million, which for him is a drop in the bucket, but it kind of feels like more should have happened, I think, because they obviously thought it was severe enough to fine him $10 million. I mean, that's not, for me, for most people, that's not pocket change, but there was a lot of aggressive findings that had to do with the way that he handled his workplace and things of that nature. Apparently, it was very demeaning towards women, so that's not good. But I mean, Dan Snyder, man, he's a joke, dude. I mean, I don't know what you want. He said he's going to give up his power and let his wife run the team now, which means Dan Snyder will run the team.
Right. Yeah, I don't really know how him saying that makes anything better. I mean, it's really just a token move to appease people like, oh yeah, we're changing things up. And I think it's all just surface level stuff for them. Like, all right, we'll change the outer image of the team, but I don't think they're going to change the actual culture of that franchise necessarily at that executive level, right? The team is probably okay, I would hope anyway, under Ron Rivera and the rest of the folks there, but I don't think that's going to be the office executives. I don't think they're going to change a whole lot.
Yeah, it's the Washington football team's a train wreck. Last piece of news is AJ Brown is still recovering from surgery on both of them kneecaps. So
he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine, but it is still, just something to be noted that he's still recovering.
We'll talk about him a little bit later.
All right.
I got one last piece of news. So a few teams were fined for violations, OTA violations already. The Cowboys,
of course,
the Jags, and the 49ers, all punished. So that's fun. Already getting into the violations. Good job, Cowboys. Good job, Dallas.
We them boys.
Mm-hmm. Hey, them boys, all right.
All right, so I think we'll go ahead and start with the AFC South. Let's go ahead and get this, Brad. You want to go ahead and start navigating this bad dad? You just want to get the train wreck out of the way first, or what?
Yeah, 100%. Texans.
Okay.
So we've talked about Deshaun Watson linked here. We're not going to talk about that. We all think that chance he doesn't play this year, not even with what's going on legally, because I don't think he plays for Houston. Even if he wanted to play for anybody this year, if he could play, he wouldn't even play. So Tyrod Taylor's possibly your starting quarterback.
Possibly.
I think so. Yeah.
Is he even? What's his value? Is there any value there?
Yes, for him. And so in he's had 3 seasons as a starter. Mm-hmm. And those were Buffalo 2015, 16, and 17. And he finished 14th, 9th, and 16th. So he's a fringe QB1 and a decent QB2 because of what he can do with his legs. Now, he hasn't had any experience since then. The big problem is what this does to the receiving core.
Hold on, real quick, before you get too much into the receiving core. Last year, when Tyrod was going to be the starter for the Chargers, you said he's not worth anything. He's trash. Stay away from him. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, how the turntables
have turned.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't think he's a good quarterback, but he's got a little bit of production with his legs.
So if you're on Tyrod,
hey, was I right about last year?
Jump off.
Was I right last
year?
He
got stabbed in the chest.
Yeah, that wasn't his fault.
I was right. Making moves. Made that prediction. Nailed it.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
No,
So
he's
go to
the team
wide
around
receiver.
the team around him is still so terrible that he probably won't
Before
have
you
much
get in your
value.
wide receiver stats, wide receivers there, Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb, Kiki Cutie, and Nico Collins, which was one of their first 2 draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He was their
Second
first
rounder,
draft pick, right?
Was he? I thought he
No,
went in the second.
their first one was Davis Mills, the quarterback, in
That's
the
right.
third
That's
round.
right. All right. So go ahead. Let's hear the stats about Tyrod with wide receivers.
So I went and I did a little bit of digging and to see what he was able to do in those 3 years as a starter. Yeah, I was digging hard because I was like, maybe, Brandon Cooks is really good. Maybe he can help Brandon Cooks. The best wide receiver the best wide receiver that he had in those 3 seasons was 19th, and that was Sammy Watkins. And that was back when Sammy Watkins was actually healthy. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
he was good. Last time he was good, Debo saying,
Remember
Dabo.
Remember Robert Woods was on those teams, and Tyrod wasn't not able to utilize him effectively. I not expecting it. Now they did have Charles Clay on those teams, and he was a solid tight end 16, 18, and 17 those 3 years. So
You're making a great case for these guys.
That's what I'm saying. This team is not going. They're already not good, and the offensive line not good, defense not good, quarterback play is not good. This is going to be a team that you're basically going to avoid. Tyrod might be the only player you roster.
Hold on, don't forget about their head coach. Their head coach was Baltimore's passing game coordinator last year, and we saw what they did to
brutally bad.
The MVP of the year prior.
It is, if Deshaun Watson's there, it changes everything. But I'm not even going to predict that he's going to be there because he's not. The running backs are not going to be good. They're all 85 years old. It's all bad.
Before we jump to the running backs, so Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb, are those 2 rosterable at least? Brandon Cooks as a wide receiver 3 with his speed and chance to break a big one, and Randall Cobb in a PPR. Did Randall Cobb in PPR catch? He could be Jamison Crowder from last year, right? Where he has like 2 games with like 10, 12 catches.
Well, he'll be hurt all the time.
Yards.
I don't want any of these guys. No way.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like,
I wouldn't roster any of them.
He was the wide receiver 17 last year, and that was with Deshaun Watson, who is arguably one of the most talented quarterbacks in all of the NFL.
So that gives him a wide receiver 2. I said he's a wide receiver 3. So I'm saying drop him down 12 more spots.
He's only had one guy who's even been a wide receiver 2. I looked at the other numbers. The second year that he played, no one was even top 50. And then the third year that he played, Kelvin Benjamin was number 47. So if you want to talk about how great Tyrod is for his wide receivers, he's not. So there's that.
Okay.
He's just bad.
All right. I think Brandon Cooks should be rostered in most leagues.
Yeah, late round.
Anything with a 3 wide receiver, you have to start 3 wide receivers, he better be rostered. I'm not saying you want to start him week to week and feel good about it, but I'm saying rostered.
Sure.
Because I think when we look at this team a lot of people aren't even going to be rostered because of tight ends. Jordan Atkins, nobody wants that in their life. All right, running backs. David Johnson, Phillip Lindsay, Mark Ingram II, Rex Burkhead. Holy guacamole. Talk about your who's who of running backs from 3 years ago.
Awful.
I don't like that.
Give me any of these running backs 3 years ago, and I'll be happy with it, right?
Yeah, 3 years ago. But like this backfield, the Eagles backfield, the Niners backfield, the Patriots backfield, it's awful. It's the
difference between the Niners backfield and the Eagles backfield.
Well, yeah, they're talented, but they're injured all the time. These guys were talented, but they're all stepping on each other's toes now. Like it's the same.
I got old David Johnson. I got Phillip Lindsay, who had a decent run in the Broncos, but I think he's kind of a one-trick pony. And he gets hurt all the time. Mark Ingram was he 31 going on 67?
Yeah.
And then Rex Burkhead, I'm pretty sure he's got Peyton Manning's neck right now, okay?
Yeah, that's true, though. That's true.
Maybe his wife got some HGH in the mail.
Yeah.
He'll be okay.
Do we want to roster any of these running backs as a bye week fill-in? If you had to draft one, who you drafted?
Johnson.
David Johnson. All right. I would ask Josh, but I think he froze up. I had internet.
I'm here. It's just gross. It's just so gross.
Yeah,
It's real bad.
yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess it would be David Johnson, but
In
I don't feel good
PPR,
about
DJ in like half or because he was the 33rd running back in PPR last year. I guess in standard or half point, I would lean a little bit more towards Ingram because he might get the goal line work.
You know the thing I love about Mark
But who
Ingram?
knows?
You know the thing I love about Mark Ingram is ever since he was on the Saints, when you watch ESPN, they talk about how good of a pass catcher he is, but they'll show him at Alabama catching the ball.
Yeah,
They don't have NFL highlights of
Not
him
in the
catching the ball.
league, yeah.
He's a great pass catcher. You're like, that's from Alabama. That's from like 12 years ago, dude.
yeah, it's great.
Where did he?
What else do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. Let's move on.
David Johnson. All right, cool. But I think Brandon Cooks could be – he's a wide receiver 3 this year. I'd be okay with him being my wide receiver 3. He has some boom possibility. It'll be – his accumulative numbers won't be good, but he'll probably have a couple weeks where he's really good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at ADP for PPR. David Johnson was the 21st running back in PPR last year. So he's rosterable.
Yeah. I don't know how happy you are about it, though.
No, you're not happy about it. If he's your third guy and somebody gets hurt, you're in deep crap.
All right, let's talk about a real team here. Let's talk about the Colts. Team with Super Bowl aspirations. You guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
So they went out and, they upgraded from Phillip Rivers. I do agree that this is an upgrade for Phillip Rivers. Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz
that version of
best seat. Okay, go ahead, Eric.
I'm sorry. That version of Phillip Rivers, turnover prone, no mustard on the ball at all. He threw an out route late in the season last year, and it was just like catching a fly ball in center field for this corner. All he had to do was he actually physically had to wait for the ball to get there. Like he jumped the route, and then he's like, "Oh, hang on, I gotta wait a second." And then he took it to the house. He was just god awful, just a shadow of his former self. So Wentz, yes, huge upgrade, just an arm strength alone. Plus, he's kind of mobile too. Rivers was a statue last year.
Mm-hmm.
And the Colts head coach was the offensive coordinator for Carson Wentz, his best season, that MVP season where he was an MVP candidate until he tore his ACL.
Yep. Frank Reich.
Yeah. But with that being said, though, Carson Wentz is injury prone. Jacob Eason going to get some run this year, boys? We going to get some Jacob Eason run?
No. Come on. No.
I just want to mention the backup because there's a chance that Carson Wentz could miss some time.
Yeah, he'll probably get hurt. But he only finished 2 spots behind Phillip Rivers last year, despite throwing far more interceptions. I mean, he threw 15 interceptions. Phillip Rivers threw 11. And remember, Carson Wentz only played in 12 games. Phillip Rivers played the whole season. His rushing totals, he had 276 yards with 5 touchdowns. That was where it really helped him because he was a far worse quarterback than Phillip Rivers. But he just brings more to your team fantasy-wise. I think
he had no weapons last year. Remember, he had a shell of Zach Ertz. Nobody on the outside that could get open.
Yeah, and the receiving core here.
Did we talk about it? Greg Ward. We talked about it last show. Greg Ward was his number 1 receiver last year.
Yeah, I mean, you think he's got Michael Pittman. He's still got T.Y. Hilton. I like Campbell. I think he can actually do quite a bit if he can stay healthy. I like this team. And then, not to mention Jonathan Taylor. We know that's a given. You're going to draft him, obviously.
JTT, baby. There we go.
So let's talk about Jonathan Taylor's ADP right now.
Okay.
He is the 5th running back off the standard. Hold on. Let me make sure PPR is
in PPR, he is number 6 overall.
Number 6 overall.
Yep.
Right before Zeke, right after Saquon. I wouldn't be upset if people took him before Saquon.
Nope.
Do you guys don't see? Do we see a sophomore slump for JT? Are we worried because all his production came at the end of the year when he had an easy schedule?
No,
I think the Mac.
I think the offense is going to run through him. He's just too good.
What about the return of the Mac? Does that affect anybody here?
What about him, dude? What about him?
He'll get hurt at camp.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
He gets hurt all the time. That was a really nice thing that the team did for him. They gave him a deal. Like, we know you're injury prone. You haven't lived up to your potential. Like, they basically threw him a bone, in my opinion. So they hooked him up. But yeah, Taylor and Hines are going to be the guys again, just like last year.
So here's my biggest thing why I like Taylor a little more this year. Last year, Phillip Rivers, because his lack of mobility with his legs, he likes to take shot from the shotgun, and he likes to have a running back right next to him, right, as a quick outlet or a quick handoff. And Naheem Hines gets a lot of play in that situation. Even on the goal line, we'd see Naheem Hines in there, the smaller back, which is a little awkward, but it's a Phillip Rivers staple. It's been like that even when he was in San Diego for these last couple of years. This year, though, I think Carson Wentz and being more mobile, they can put the more power back there. You don't need that shifty little guy that can just be a quick outlet real quick. Carson Wentz can buy some time. RPOs with those two might be a little better on the goal line.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Taylor wasn't terrible catching the ball last year. We were all
Not
worried
at all.
about his hands, and he wasn't bad. Like, I wouldn't say he's the worst in the league.
No,
How many did he catch last year?
all of them, dude. All of them.
He had 40 targets, 30. He caught it 36 times. So, yeah, he's just fine catching the ball out of the backfield. He's bigger than Naheem Hines, too. He should be better in pass protection this year because it's his sophomore year. You should know the offense a little bit better.
And he doesn't have to be as good. Like I said, Carson Wentz is a little more mobile than Phillip Rivers, so you don't have to be perfect. If you miss a block, Carson Wentz isn't just going to get – he might get killed because it's Carson Wentz, and we've seen what goes on in his life.
Yeah.
But, hey,
so that offensive line is – sorry. That offensive line is so much better than what he had in Philly. He'll stay upright. Taylor will keep him upright. They'll be able to work through play action. I don't think Wentz is going to have to worry about getting killed in the pocket because it's just it's a better situation all around for him.
All right, so we mentioned the wide receivers, T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman,
Paris
Campbell, and then Zach Pascal's still there too, who somebody will probably get hurt, and he'll probably step up. And he'll be the wide receiver 3. He has a couple games every year. You know what I'm saying? He'll have a game or two. I just got to bring him up. T.Y. Hilton's getting a little older in age. Is he still the number 1 wide receiver there, or you think Michael Pittman's going to take him over? And
I think Pittman will take it over. I think he'll be the target leader at least.
Okay. The only I think Pittman will get he'll get a lot more targets because he plays what Carson Wentz likes a little more. Those closer to the line of scrimmage, those more possession routes.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it. We saw that was what the difference between Carson Wentz and Nick Foles was.
And that ADP is so tasty. He's the 43rd wide receiver coming off the board behind Hollywood Brown. My goodness. Give me that all day, dude. I love that. That is just outstanding. I think 98th overall. Yeah, 98th overall in PPR.
Well, T.Y. is going 130 overall, wide receiver 49. And this might be because that's
a nice upside.
Too.
Yeah, that's a nice upside steal. Because if the play action's working and they can't, they're trying to stack the box to take away the run, he's in single coverage and he's healthy. Like, he's still quick. He could still move. Yeah. And Wentz has the arm to get it to him. Obviously, Rivers did not last year. So,
what about the tight ends?
No, they have no value.
No Zach Doyle, no Mo Alley. Carson Wentz has always used his tight ends. Rivers used them.
Zach Ertz, dude.
But ever since he left, Zach Ertz hasn't been nothing.
That's true.
Because Zach Ertz is old. I mean, come on.
I think if one of the receivers gets hurt, like if Hilton goes down or Campbell goes down, you could see those guys have a little bit more value, but you have to pick the right one that week because they'll catch a touchdown pass, but that's it.
They're streamers. They're streaming tight ends. Like if you wait late on tight ends, they're the streamer you're going to pick up for a good matchup. Yeah. That's all it really is. And that's the Colts. I think I actually like Carson Wentz a lot this year. I think he's a good steal in a draft.
He should be good.
Relatively later.
He's got high QB2 upside, and he's got a decent floor, I think, with the Colts. So
he's going QB 19. QB 19. Do you understand like how he's going after Deshaun Watson?
Who isn't going to play.
Exactly. He's going after Kirk Cousins.
It's recency bias.
Kirk Cousins will probably have more accounting stats than him, but you won't like starting Cousins every week over Carson Wentz.
Sure won't.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the team that changed their identity over the offseason, got himself a new coach, went out and got himself a new QB. They got himself a new running back.
For no reason.
So the Jaguars, right? Urban Meyer's there now. A lot of reports have been coming out. He recruited ETN, he said. He didn't draft him. He recruited him. That's the words he used.
Yep.
I didn't realize Urban's not even in his 60s yet. He's only 58. really thought that dude was like 80.
Yeah.
He's got the heart of an
Really?
80-year-old. We know. Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got the heart of an 80-year-old. But is there any chance Lawrence doesn't start week 1?
No.
Barring injury, like
No.
not being hurt.
No.
There
the
would be
week one
riots
starter.
in the streets if he doesn't start.
I don't know, man. You don't think people in Jacksonville like Gardner Minshew? Like if all the places where Gardner Minshew like fits in like a champ. Hi,
No,
MJ. It's okay.
Hey,
You're here for
MJ.
the perfect
Don't
time.
worry about it. We appreciate you coming in.
Hello.
You're here in time to
No.
talk about Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
No, dude, he cut the Mississippi mud flap. He is not.
He
starting
did cut the
anything.
mud flap. That is pretty disappointing. I'm not going to lie.
He's going to be the Patriots starting quarterback by the end of the year. Is that what you're saying?
No.
I think he'll be the Houston starting quarterback by the end of the year, but that's me. You don't spend 1-1 to let him sit. I think he plays. I think Lawrence plays.
I remember John Kitna starting over Carson Palmer.
Well,
Yeah.
nobody said that was a good
That was a
decision. though.
long time ago. It wasn't
Yeah,
good.
it was.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think Trevor's going to be fine. I think he's going to be a fringe QB1. His ADP right now is okay. It's fine. He's going 14th quarterback overall. I think that's probably about where he'll finish. I don't think he's going to be outstanding, but he'll probably be, a high QB2. I'm okay with that. Actually,
I'm not targeting him in regular redraft leagues. There's no.
no.
I don't think there's big value there. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to have some bad games. Saw what Justin Herbert did. Yep, and I also saw what Tua did last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I also saw who was the other quarterback taken last year?
Burrow.
Burrow. Yeah, he was throwing
His
it
knee
all over the
exploded.
place. Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, that was
Anything happened. Now the running back situation there, they had James Robinson, who was an
Well.
RB1 last year, undrafted guy.
Mm-hmm.
NFL teams do not care about the running back. Like I said, Urban Meyer went out and he recruited ETN to the Jaguars. Okay, they've a lot of weird stuff in camp. He's a wide receiver taking routes. He's doing this. We've sort of touched base, I think, on this a few times. But how do you value these two running backs?
I think James Robinson will still get the first and second down work, and then ETN will probably be getting a lot of the pass catching work. But he's going to be the guy that they script plays for. They're going to line him up in the slot and do little end around handoffs, kind of like the Rams have done with Robert Woods lately in the past couple of seasons, where they've kind of done that with him. He's going to be their X factor, their Percy Harvin guy. He's going to be all right. I expect him to get about 10 touches a game, Travis Etienne, and I expect James Robinson to get probably around 15 to 18 touches a game. So it's not going to be the end of the world. By the end of the season, I do expect Etienne to be the starter. So that's kind of discouraging because I think James Robinson was good last year. He was really good. He was a top 10 running back. He was really, really good. And the Jaguars said, hey, we are not loyal. So it sucks.
Well,
but Etienne's just more talented.
None of the guys that are there are the guys that picked him up and he played for last year.
Yep.
So we can say they're not loyal, but it's not. Those guys aren't there. The guys that he played for aren't there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Would you have?
James
Would you
Robinson
rather have?
good?
Would you rather have Robinson at 59 or Etienne at 56?
I'm
That's
taking
where they're both going.
Because I think James Robinson is this year's Alex Collins from a couple years ago.
He just falls off.
He was good. The team has no reason to play him. They know they got him this year. They can tender him next year. There'll be a piece on the team.
Yeah.
In PPR, Etienne's the guy you want. But even with his ADP right now, where he's going, Etienne is the 26th back coming off the board. I think that's okay, but I mean, there's a guy going a couple spots after him by the name of Javonte Williams. I like him a lot more this season.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. Melvin Gordon, I mean, his mama told him he looks slow. So when your mama's on you telling you look slow, that ain't good. That is not good.
The only time an NFL mama should be talking to you is give you your chunky soup.
Naheem Hines is going 109, and he was a running back 1 last year.
Yeah, but
So
he didn't do anything for you in the playoff time.
no, but if he's a flex play at 109, like he's the 40-something, 46th running back off the board there. I think I'd rather have him than Etienne.
Who finishes better, Hines or Etienne? I think ETN has a better shot of being.
I have no idea what Urban Meyer is going to do with these guys. Like,
so let's get over the Urban Meyer thing. He's not going to be the play caller there. The offense coordinator is going to be doing the play calling. He's just going to have, like every coach, he's going to talk about, he's going to have like
big picture.
Big picture. So he's not calling the plays there. So I don't get over this. The thing that worries me though, when you say he's the gadget guy, because when I think gadget guy, I think Cordell Patterson, I think Tavon Austin, I think of all these gadget guys that came in the league and just.
Yeah, they'll have like one big game each season.
If that. Tavon Austin, I don't even know if he still has had a big game yet.
I think he had a couple.
He did, and with the
Cowboys.
With the St. Louis Rams, he did.
Yeah, they drafted.
All right. Wide receivers there. We got DJ Dallas. We got Marvin Jones. And we got is it Marvin Jones? I just wrote down Jones.
DJ Dallas is a
running back. DJ Chark.
There you go.
Why am I right?
It's
oh
okay.
My God.
It's okay. We're here.
It's okay.
Is it Marvin Jones they went signed? Yep.
They did. Yeah.
And then Laviska Shenault, who is another guy they're trying to use as a gadget player. Yeah. They have two gadget guys.
Hey, that's a sweet team.
Is it like quarterbacks? If you have two gadget guys, you don't have any?
Yes. 100%.
Well, ETN's far better talent than Marvin Jones.
So there have been reports that Urban Meyer did come out and say that DJ Chark does not play up to his size last year. Looking at his tape, he didn't play the way a guy his size should play. So he wasn't attacking and being aggressive enough. So maybe they're going to take some shots. I like it. It's third year, right?
Yeah.
It's third year, fourth year.
The third-year breakout thing, I don't think that holds water anymore, but he is in his
feelings.
This will be his fourth year. He was drafted in 18.
Is this his best quarterback he's had, right?
That remains to be seen.
You don't think Teenage Mutant Ninja Bortles was any good, dude?
Exactly. Who do you have last year? He had Gardner Minshew, but not for all the year because remember they were trying to tank.
Yeah.
Blaine Gabbert, right? Wasn't it Blaine Gabbert? No, it was
Blaine Gabbert. He played for the Niners.
CJ Beathard, Jake Luton.
No, he's not on the team anymore. The guy that played last year.
Oh,
I don't even remember who was that.
I think it's one of those old Denver quarterbacks, one of those tall guys. You know.
It wasn't Brock
the
Weiler.
Heist. Brock Osweiler? The Heist?
No, what Brock Weiler? $72 million, baby. Go get it, Brock Weiler.
Good for you.
I like DJ Chark a lot this year as a wide receiver too. The defense is still bad there. They're going to have to throw the ball.
For sure.
Wide receiver too.
And based on the ADP, I mean, he's going 32nd overall as a wide receiver. I mean, that's pretty good value if you think he's actually going to finish there. I think he really could. Laviska Shenault is a guy they expect to jump. I don't expect him to make a big jump this year, personally. Just off of what I saw, I remember watching his college tape. They were all top 50 receivers last year, 46, 48, and 50. So
that's something.
There's that. So
that's something.
I mean, the nice thing about Chark is that he averaged 7 targets a game last year. He'll probably see a little uptick this year.
Yes. All right, tight ends there. We got Oshag, Hennessy, and Manhurts.
I don't care.
You guys don't want no Manhurts in your life?
Next.
Who?
Man, that's
a little Shaughnessy.
Oshag Hennessy.
All right. So for the Jacksonville Jaguars, we pretty much said we don't want to start any player on that team, but we're okay having them as our backups. Maybe Chark is your second or third wide receiver, but
be okay with
that.
But
other than that, the running backs, if they're on our team, cool, but we're not loving life if they're our RB2. Yep. All right, let's get into the Tennessee Titans.
Let's.
Their OC is gone. He is now in Atlanta, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. I bring this up because everything good that Tannehill has done, he has done under this offensive coordinator. But now he is gone. So, Ryan Tannehill getting way undervalued in ADP.
Yes.
The dude's just been a QB1 since he got to Tennessee.
Yep. 16 of the 26 games that he has been a Titan, he has been a QB1. I don't know why everybody sleeps on this guy. So, yeah, he's great. If you look at listening to the Ringer Fantasy Football podcast, that's where I just got that stat from. And then if you look at his efficiency numbers, it's Mahomes and then Tannehill. And I get that their OC's gone. But what's going to change? Probably nothing. As a matter of fact, I was reading about the new OC today. He's already trying to gear up ways to get A.J. Brown all over the field, expand his route tree, get him open as much as possible, and use Derrick Henry to the fullest. So I don't think anything's going to change a lot. I think they're going to be just fine. Yep, Tannehill's great.
Okay, Tannehill's good. He'll probably be a quarterback 1 again this year. Down there, the bottom half of the QB1, not top half, because that really hard to break into that area there.
8, 9, 10 is good though.
Derrick Henry, we know what he is. He's a workhorse guy. Carries the ball 700 times a game.
He's literally a horse.
681 carries in the last 2 years.
Yeah, he's literally the same.
I know last year we talked about it. Are we getting worried about this number?
Nope, I'm not. Not at all.
I'm still worried about that number.
I can't anymore.
The only reason I'm worried about it is because he's going as running back 3. And we know his passing game isn't going to go up because they added Julio. So he's not getting more. He didn't get more targets.
Doesn't matter.
Got plenty of
He doesn't need them.
I'm just saying I would probably still want Alvin Kamara over him in a PPR league.
I think Kamara is the only guy I would take over him in a PPR league, though.
McCaffrey?
No.
Dalvin Cook?
What?
No.
What?
What?
You're high. Okay.
I want guys that are on the field.
McCaffrey's on the field, bro. He
got 400 touches and he got 400 touches and he fell apart
all year last year.
Dalvin Cook has injury history though too. I would still I would take Cook 3rd overall. I would take Kamara, Henry, Cook, then Zeke.
I do not support that statement.
You don't have to support that statement. That's my opinion.
Haters, dude. Haters. All right.
I would probably even take Jonathan Taylor over Derrick Henry. I don't know, that's crazy, but
no, I don't agree with that. I don't endorse that statement at all.
I'm just saying
I'm not
there. I know what I'm saying. I might. This is why I don't.
That's talent and opportunity, and Derrick Henry's got both, son.
I know, but this is why in a draft this year, I don't want the 3rd or 4th pick. 1 and 2, I'm good with McCaffrey and Cooks in my mind. I know, Eric, you don't care about those, but in my mind, I'm good with those 2. But after that, it's kind of a Derrick Henry, which, okay, I'm happy with Derrick Henry, but I'm not happy with Derrick Henry. You know what I'm saying?
I like watching Derrick Henry play, so I would be happy to have him at number 2 overall. I'd be okay with that. In half point PPR, he was 2nd. In standard, he was number 1, and in full point PPR, he was 3rd. And he's done it. He's done it for what, the last 3 years. I'm okay taking him there.
Yep. He's about to get his new contract and about to fall off the cliff, just like Christian McCaffrey did.
He already got paid. He got paid last year.
Yep.
And he ran for 2,000 yards because he's a monster.
Sure did.
We'll see.
And Henry. Sign me up.
No, and there's no backup there, so he is the only guy. Kind of like what we said with McCaffrey. He's the only guy there. They're not spelling him out with anybody for any situation. Darrington Evans doesn't scare me with anything. Now the wide receiver situation. A.J. Brown, he really good. I don't know if you heard of this guy named Julio Jones. They went and got him in a trade.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty talented from what I understand.
Does his touchdown numbers go up big on this team? Are we still going to have the same conversations? If we have the same conversations about Julio not catching touchdown passes, is it a Julio thing now, not a Atlanta Falcon thing?
Yeah, at that point, it's probably a Julio thing. He's just not that great of a red zone target, it seems like. Because when the field shrinks like that, he gets doubled because he's Julio Jones. And you're always going to look for the easier throw, right? So Calvin Ridley or whatever tight end happened to be there at the time. Ryan Tannehill likes his tight ends, which we'll talk about in a minute. So those guys get a lot of red zone looks. A.J. Brown is obviously going to be a targeted in the red zone, but Derrick Henry is going to be option number 1. So
that's my thing. I don't think you can double Julio in the red zone because you got to load the box.
No,
with
not
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, not anymore. You can't. No,
he's going to see a lot of one-on-one on the outside in the red zone, which I don't think he's gotten before. So I like Julio a lot this year. What's his ADP right now? It's probably
Julio's ADP is Julio Jones is going for. He's the 15th wide receiver. Oh, sorry. If switched to standard on me.
13th wide receiver. That's up 2 spots. 13th wide receiver.
I'm
38
still
overall.
showing 15. 15, 38.
Okay, I'm showing 13. Whatever. Either way, he's right there between. He's going as a wide receiver too, and in my mind, that's disrespectful.
It is disrespectful.
I love it.
Agreed.
I would
We'll
take
talk
him over
about
Mike.
another disrespected wide receiver here in a little bit too, with this
Okay.
ADP that I'm just looking at.
And you want to talk about their tight ends? I want nothing to do with these tight ends. You can say Tannehill likes his tight ends, but we're talking about Jeff Schwaim and Anthony Firsker.
I think Firsker, if you want to wait on tight end, is a decent option. I don't think he's the best option out there, but he's an okay option. He was tight end 20.
Jack Doyle or Firsker?
Ooh, Firsker.
No, I'm taking Jack Doyle.
Wiley Cox might play over Doyle. You don't. At least I know Firsker's going to start.
Well, Allie Cox is an offensive lineman with wearing wide receiver gloves.
Get out of here.
That's true. That's true. Phillip Rivers just had nothing on him last year, so it felt like it was soft.
Yeah.
Firsker was tight end 25 last year, which isn't great, but
Nope, it's not. Because tight end 25.
but Jonnu
is
Smith
probably
isn't there anymore.
Okay. What was Jonnu Smith last year?
16.
Yeah, not good.
That's still not good either.
No, it's not.
And I say Jonnu Smith is way more talented than Firsker.
Like I would rather take Jared Cook late, but if he's already off the board, like you're looking at like Irv Smith Jr., like Austin Hooper. I'd rather take a chance on Firsker over those guys.
I just feel like you're dropping after week 1 if you draft him.
You might.
That's fine. I don't think he's even rosterable unless you're in some tight end premium league with really deep rosters.
What's the best tight end in this whole division then?
All right, let's talk about it. Best wide receiver, Tannehill.
Best wide receiver,
quarterback.
Quarterback. There we go. What's wrong with me today?
Tannehill.
Best Tannehill. All right.
Fantasy wise, yeah, Tannehill.
Fantasy wise, best running back, Derrick Henry, right, or Jonathan Taylor.
Henry.
Ooh, I give the nod to Henry still because he's.
I
done
give
it
the
for
nod
years.
to Henry, but
Taylor
Taylor
could take it.
We could have a different conversation in the year. It's actually closer than we thought it would be.
Yeah.
Who's got the best running back core if we were playing 3 years ago? The Texans. Good job, guys. I just want to bring them up because we're not going to talk about them this whole time. All right.
They're so bad.
Best wide receiver. Is it which Titans wide receiver is it?
AJ Brown.
I think in fantasy it might be Julio.
I think it's going to be Brown.
I think it could be Julio.
He was hurt all last year. He still had 1,200 yards.
And he's still hurt.
How many touchdowns?
You're going to Browntown, dude.
Yeah, he's great.
Going to Browntown.
We like
Best
him.
tight end in this division is Jack Doyle, is what I'm saying. It ain't pretty. It ain't pretty. I don't like it.
Who's the Texans guy? Maybe. No.
Jordan Atkins.
No, that ain't it.
You don't want some Tyler Eifert or some Oshag Hennessy? Tim Tebow?
No.
Tim Tebow. He's the best.
No.
He's the best one.
There is
Because he can play
time.
QB.
Devout Christian. At least we know Jesus on this side.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's probably Doyle, but geez, that's a crapshoot of tight ends right there. That's awful. Stay away from those guys.
All right, let's get into the NFC South. I think
you guys want to do that based on how much time we got left? It's a pretty packed.
Yeah, we got plenty. We're good.
Man up, Josh.
We gotta do it, man. We gotta do it.
Okay.
Falcons, real quick. We already talked about them losing Julio. So Matt Ryan's there.
Yep.
Matt Ryan's still he's a quarterback that you'll start, right? Do we think the Julio thing's gonna hurt him?
It ain't gonna help him.
No, their defense is terrible.
But they added
He'll
the greatest
throw
tight
a
end
ton.
since they had the greatest tight end since Ditka.
How
Yeah,
dare
I mean,
you?
And he was still a QB1 last year. He finished 12th last year.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
Matt Ryan, he's okay.
He's at bottom range. He's at down there in the bottom where you're not really happy to have him. He's like a Kirk Cousins type anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of yards.
He's being drafted 115th overall.
Fine.
Not bad value there.
We'll take him.
What's Mike Davis's ADP? Because I think he is a steal.
Mike Davis's ADP is
RB 24, 52 overall. Give me some Mike Davis
Sure.
in my life, dude. I like it. He's the only guy there. Like, I couldn't even find another running back on the depth chart.
Well, they got rid of everybody. Gurley, Ito Smith, and Brian Hill.
Yes, they're all,
All gone.
It is just Mike
Good.
Davis. They didn't
Yeah.
draft
Good.
anybody. They said all we need is Mike Davis.
And their coach knows how to use a running back very
I
effectively.
need more cowbell.
The Carolina Panthers running back was RB4 last year. If you put
Yes.
Mike Davis's numbers with a couple games of Christian McCaffrey,
If you mush them.
RB4.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
He could be 75% of him.
Well, he was still the 12th best running back even without Christian McCaffrey's number. So
Exactly.
I'll take that all day.
No,
And
he's
it's
a
not
good
like
steal.
the Panthers had some prolific offense. I mean,
Yeah. Like if he's my third guy, I'm pretty happy with that.
Tell you two gloves, man. All right. Wide receiver, Calvin Ridley. That ADP is so high on Calvin Ridley. I can't touch
too
it.
high. Above Justin Jefferson? Get out, dude.
I don't agree
Above
with
Michael
that, but he's
Thomas?
still a wide receiver 1.
No,
He's above
I'm
AJ
looking-
Brown. He's going wide receiver 6.
I can't, dude.
He's still going to be in the top 12 though, but he shouldn't be going ahead of those guys. He shouldn't be going ahead of.
He's top 12.
He
I
shouldn't
think
be
you're
going
looking
ahead
at-
of Michael
I think
Thomas
you-
either.
Are you looking
It's
at
ridiculous.
standard, Brad? I think you're looking at standard, Brad.
This is PPR.
Oh, on mine it says he's 7. But anyway,
Yeah, I've been
yeah,
7th as well.
it's too high.
What are you guys using?
I'm using
Fantasy Pros.
Me too. Let's see. I mean, maybe you guys refresh before me.
ADP consensus of 6
Yeah.
ranking sources. PPR Calvin Ridley
Why does-
7th.
Let's say I have him at 6. I don't know. Whatever. Either way, who cares? Close enough. 6, 7. We're cutting hairs.
Splitting hairs.
Yep.
Now,
Russell Gage. Anything with any of these other wide receivers? Russell Gage or any of this stuff?
No,
Russell Gage is a wide receiver who plays football.
he's maybe a flex option with the targets that he'll get because Julio's gone. Maybe.
With as much as they throw the ball, there's a chance that one of these guys can do something. It's just trying to pick the right week when they're going to pop.
Yeah.
I mean, he finished 37th last year. He has a chance to be a wide receiver 3, and that does matter. So
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
Brandon Cooks or Russell Gage?
Gage.
Oh gosh.
Brandon Cooks is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I say Gage because I think Mills is going to be in there after if Tyrod struggles at all. They're going to be like, bring out Davis Mills.
I'll take
Gunslinger, dude.
I'll take the number 1 option on a team over the number 3 or 4 option
3?
on a team.
Yeah.
If he
All
gets
right,
the ball.
let's talk about the tight end. Hayden Hurst here, man. We're gonna have another Hayden Hurst breakout.
What? No.
Did they draft
That's-
somebody?
Yeah. They drafted.
So did Josh, and he's praying he's good.
Oh,
Kyle-
he is
every
so
night- Kyle
good.
Pitts.
Every night, Josh gets down on his knees and he says,
He's
"Please,
so
let Kyle Pitts
good.
be awesome."
Kyle
Pitts this year. Where does he finish in the tight end rankings?
7th. I'll be realistic. I think 7th. That's probably fair.
I can agree
I
with
hope
seven.
not
I
for the draft capital you spent on him, but
He's going to
Maybe.
finish
He's
above
7th this-
Gronk, and he'll finish around Mike Gesicki. Yeah, I don't think Logan Thomas is going to finish in the top 3 this year, so he falls out, and that puts my boy 7th. Yeah, I'm good with that.
I can agree with 7th.
yeah,
I was going to say 8th, but I can get on the board with 7.
I think
I think he's
Julio. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Say Julio.
I think Julio leaving kind of hurts him though, because with Julio and Ridley there, they can't roll coverage to his side or wherever he lines up in the offense. I think it does hurt him a little bit.
But
Not a
No,
lot,
it
but a little
It
bit.
never hurt Tony Gonzalez, okay? So I'm not worried about it.
Julio Jones was there.
It didn't hurt
No.
TJ Hawkinson. TJ Hawkinson's been the only guy on the Lions forever. I think he's going to have a TJ Hawkinson career path. And it isn't for what, like, it isn't going to sound pretty, but he'll be like 6 or 7 or 8 this year, right? Just like Hawkinson.
And then he'll be
Like
top
in that
3 the
range.
rest of his career.
And then he'll jump up next year and have a big breakout when they get a new quarterback in
The
the
rest
draft.
of his
for
When
sure.
they get a new quarterback.
He'll probably be the number 1 tight end for a decade, so no big deal.
Josh's like, please let him be the best.
All right, let's go on to the Panthers.
Okay.
I don't know what Forrest Gump thinks about the Panthers. Let's talk about Sam Darnold gets a new home.
Thank goodness.
I was like, we're just gonna let that go? Like,
What?
I just threw that in there, just slid right by.
Oh, the Forrest Gump thing. Yeah. No,
okay.
we'll let that
Yeah.
go.
Sam Darnold. Okay,
Oh.
Sam Darnold. He's away. Hey, so we talked about Tannehill earlier. Tannehill leaves Adam Gase, QB1. Sam Darnold, who I think drafted and all that, more higher upside and higher talent than Tannehill. Sam Darnold.
Agreed.
Yes, and even Robbie Anderson's like, he's a different guy. Remember, he was with them on those Jets teams, and he's like, he's got more confidence. He's come in the building, and he's a different guy now. So I understand that this is early and this is just talk right now, but Darnold does have the tools. Let's not forget that he was drafted very, very high, so he has the ability. It's just if he can get his mental game right, kind of like Ben Simmons, we'll see.
Well, Gase, I mean, we've talked about Gase before. I mean, he basically walked out on his wife after she had their kid. Like, he's not there to support Sam Darnold, and he had 3 different coordinators while he was there. He's probably coming to a place where Matt Rule and all of his coordinators there are like, Sam, we brought you here. We know you got the tools. We're going to win with you.
They put their quarterbacks in positions to succeed. We saw it from Teddy Bridgewater. He was not put in to succeed with Adam Gase.
No.
They will be down. They'd be playing a great pass rush, and he's sending all their wide receivers deep and making him take a 7-step drop. And then Booger McFarland's talking about he's seeing ghosts. Like, no, he's seeing the other defense coming to his face, and he's praying for God and
just curl up and die.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Otherwise, you're going to get killed. Yeah,
because you don't have time to run the plays as stupid Adam Gase is calling because he's a stupid idiot.
So I like Sam Darnold because he's getting disrespected right now in ADP. He's going after Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Taysom Hill. And then also Daniel Jones, which I would take him over Daniel Jones in a heartbeat.
I feel like I'd take him over Derek Carr, too. Like, Carr he's got Waller.
Could see him. So here's the thing. I think accounting numbers, Derek Carr will probably finish higher than him at the end of the season. But I think Sam Darnold might have some bigger games.
I like his I like Darnold's upside better. You know what you're getting with Carr, but gosh, it's boring as hell.
Hey, if I get a full season of Christian McCaffrey with Sam Darnold, he could be Jared Goff when he had Todd Gurley.
And you got to look at what Sam Darnold has. He has a guy who was already actually pretty good with him, Robbie Anderson. And then you add DJ Moore, and this rookie they got, Terrace Marshall, is very good as well. So
I heard he's pretty good. Yeah,
he's pretty talented from what I understand. Now
he's like Jamar Chase, good. It's fine.
Yeah, the tight ends are nothing to write home about. Dan Arnold, Ian Thomas, whatever. But I mean, this group of offensive talent is very good. The best that he's ever had.
There.
Yes, and that's what I want to talk about. And he has Matt Rule, and who's the OC?
Brady.
Brady, yeah.
Joe Brady. Yep.
Joe Brady, yes.
He'll have. This will be the last year with him. Yeah.
Yes, but 1 year with Joe Brady can do a lot for his career. Mm-hmm. Christian McCaffrey, does he play 15 games this season?
Yeah,
I say no.
It's a 16-game season or 17-game season. So
yeah, I think he played 15.
I think he misses 2.
14, 15.
I say no.
I think he'll still finish as top 5 running back. So
if you draft Christian McCaffrey number 1. Are you making sure you get Chuba in those double-digit rounds?
You should.
Yeah, I think. Well, based on his capital, you have to try and handcuff that. Yeah, we saw what Mike Davis was last year, and Chuba can easily be that. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I mean, if I draft McCaffrey number 1, I am reaching on Chuba probably in round 12.
Yeah, someone took him from me in Dynasty. So
you're welcome. I'll trade you for him right now. Zeke, straight up.
If you look at total touches over the past 3 years, he's over 700. Like,
yeah, that's good.
It's not good.
A lot.
And he's had back problems, and he was hurt all last year with
back problems are, not good.
So we'll see. I mean, but when McCaffrey's on the field, we even saw it last year. When he's on the field, he is penciled in 20 points. You can write that 2, and you can write that 2 in pen, but you better be able to change it to a 3 really easily.
Yeah,
because it ain't going down to a 1.
Yeah,
and sometimes you can change it to a 0.
And you got to remember too, like there's less pressure on him now to do what he was doing because Sam Darnold is going to throw the ball. Look, they had 3 receivers that were top 25, last year in Carolina.
I want to bring that up with the wide receivers.
Go ahead. Sorry,
Robbie Anderson. We've kind of talked about DJ Moore. Terrence Marshall Jr. and also David Moore's there as well, who's had some flashes with the Seahawks. We'll see how they get used, depending on Terrence Marshall progresses in camp. But Robbie Anderson, is he the number 1 or is DJ Moore the number 1?
I think Robbie's already got the built-in rapport with Sam, so I like Robbie over DJ Moore.
Matt Rule's his college coach, dude. Don't forget that.
Yeah, that's a lot to factor in. So yeah.
I like Moore better because he runs more intermediate routes than Anderson. I think those are safer for Darnold and what he'll like. And this offensive line is not very good. So I don't think he's going to have time for those deeper routes that Anderson typically runs to develop. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, we got to look, is Curtis Marshall a downgrade, or is he about equal to what Terrace Marshall brings? Curtis Samuel, excuse me.
Okay. I was like, where are we going with this?
Is Curtis Samuel?
I don't think
is
they're the
he
same
equal
player.
to, or do you think Terrace Marshall is better or worse?
They're not the same player. They used a lot with Curtis Samuel on the backfield, moving him around last year.
Yeah.
I don't think you do that with Terrence Marshall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think Terrence Marshall can be good this year, but I don't know. They all three can play in the slot. That's the thing.
They can all play on the outside though too, right? Marshall.
Yes. Well, Robbie Anderson will play the outside for sure.
Yeah, but they can line him up in the slot if they want to like try to get him a matchup.
Yeah.
They can chase matchups here, and that's what makes this team dangerous. They have a very smart head coach and offense coordinator that's very creative, and will create matchups for these guys to succeed. So I think I like a lot of these guys because the ADPs aren't crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like we just talked about Calvin Ridley, who has a ridiculous ADP, but Robbie Anderson is going wide receiver 35.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Moore is going wide receiver 25. Like I'm fine with all those. Like I'm getting them as my second or third wide receiver.
Terrace Marshall, 72.
But if I compare any one of those three, those first two, if I compare one of those two with a Devontae Adams or a AJ Brown, I'm very happy with my wide receiver core.
Yep, I like that. That ain't bad
because their games might not be every week, but they might have some big games.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to the Saints. Who starts quarterback of the Saints? Is it Jameis Winston or is it Taysom Hill?
Jameis.
I think it's Jameis as well.
I think it is too. I think the playoff game where he was the only one that completed a deep ball? They put him in just for that one play.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty good. He has an arm. He has arm talent. We all can agree, right? He has LASIK. Sean Payton's, I won't say the best coach he's played for because Bruce Arians is a really good offensive mind.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. If let's say it's Jameis Winston. We'll say it's Jameis Winston for the rest of this. How does that affect Alvin Kamara? Doesn't. I don't think it does. Do you guys think it does at all?
Pencil him for 12 rushes a game with probably 8 to 10 targets a game. He'll be fine.
I think his target numbers from Drew Brees to Jameis Winston will go down because Jameis is going to take a shot over dumping it down. We know that. If Jameis sees 1-on-2, going downfield, Traquan Smith or Alvin Kamara open the flat, we know where he's going. He's going Traquan. Jameis Winston is a gunslinger.
Even if so he's gotten 100 targets, 105 targets, 97 targets, and 107 targets. Even if he only sees, let's say, 85, he probably still catches 80 of them, just like he has every year for the last 4 years.
81 catches is what I was going to say. Over under 81 catches for Alvin Kamara this year. I'm saying under.
Ooh.
It'll be the first time he's ever gone under 81. I'm going to go.
I say over.
I believe in my boy. Over.
Yep.
I believe in my boy.
I was going under because I think with a stronger arm quarterback, everything to Drew Brees, Hall of Fame quarterback. But these last couple of years, his arm has not been the same as it was when he was lighting it up.
But I think Sean Payton is going to push him to be like, look, if it's not there, you dump it off.
Yeah, because if not, then he'll sit on the bench. I think Sean Payton has worked really hard with Jameis to help him understand the game of football. Remember, this isn't Bruce Arians' offense where you're encouraged to throw it deep. Sean Payton has it's a dink and dunk kind of system, and he's kind of been catered to Drew Brees where they're going to take a couple shots a game.
Are you saying Sean Payton is a conservative coach? Going onside kick, second half of Super Bowl, conservative to you?
He's a smart coach.
I didn't say he was conservative. I'm saying that he knows how to get what's best out of his offense. Defense,
I think he's been doing that because he's been catering to Drew Brees' talent for the last couple of years. And I think we will see the ball going downfield, which is why I want to bring up Michael Thomas, good old slant Mike, who I think can work down the field, but I don't think the quarterback wanted to work down the field. I think that's why they got rid of Brandon Cooks when they did, because they knew Drew Brees isn't going to be able to hit these deep shots next year.
Yeah,
why
Brees
they
is
traded
shorter,
Brees.
and his arm strength definitely went down over the last couple of years. So that makes sense.
Because it would have highlighted the fact.
I still like Mike Thomas, though. I think he's.
I love Mike Thomas this year. I love it. What that ADP is bad because everybody's
He
like,
is
"Oh, Mike Thomas."
ninth. That is garbage. Disrespectful.
So Jameis. So I do want to circle back to this. You guys, Jameis's ADP is 30th overall for quarterbacks, and Taysom Hill's 31st. I like Jameis quite a bit actually this year, especially if he is declared the starter.
If he gets named the starter, that ADP will jump up to like 15.
Yeah. If they actually declare him the starter, sure.
When we're drafting, name the starter.
So if he's the starter or Taysom Hill's the starter, which one would you rather, for fantasy purposes, which one would you rather be declared the starter, and which one would you rather use? Because you get the rushing ability with Taysom.
I don't care.
That's all you
makes
get,
the whole
though.
offense better, though.
Yeah.
He gives me more players better. Taysom Hill makes Alvin Kamara good, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, and himself. That's it.
Do you want any other receivers besides Michael Thomas?
No.
Troutman. But he's a tight end.
Tight end.
Not a wide receiver.
Yeah.
No.
Calm down there, Jimmy Graham.
Traquan Smith is interesting in that, especially if Jameis is the starter. But I would take like a really flyer at the way into the.
Are we in the average bros now? Calm down, average Josh.
Oh, you go.
We're talking about Traquan Smith.
What? He's there. He's the 2, right? Like he's the next guy on the depth chart.
Okay. Would you rather have the 2 from this offense or the 2 from Buffalo's offense?
Manny Sanders?
Emmanuel
or Gabriel
Sanders
Davis?
Or Cole Beasley?
Cole Beasley's the 2.
Cole Beasley.
I want Cole Beasley.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want the 2 here, or do you want to take a flyer on the 2 with Atlanta?
Russell Gage. Kyle Pitts, or are you talking about Russell Gage?
Russell Gage. Russell Gage or Traquan Smith?
I'll take Traquan.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'd
go
Russell
Traquan.
Gage. You guys are crazy. Okay. I've seen Russell Gage do. I've never seen Traquan Smith do anything his whole career. All right. We talked about Adam Troutman going in second year.
But there's 3 Quans. There's 3 Quans. How can you – there's Quan.
You going to hit the Quan?
There's Trace Quans. Anyway.
You going to hit the Quan? All right. Either way, Adam Troutman's one of those tight ends that you could stream him. He's streamable to me. That's about it.
No. He's going to be good.
You don't think if James is starting, you think breakout? You think he can finish above Kyle Pitts?
No. Kyle Pitts.
If he does, Josh is gonna be real sad.
No.
I'll trade you Troutman right now.
No.
All right. Let's go to Tampa Bay. If you want to look at their depth chart, look at their depth chart from last year, and that is the depth chart they have.
Nothing changed.
Yeah.
They've added some pieces, but starter wise, it's the same. Tom Brady's there. He's really, really good. In a redraft, I'm not upset with even being my one quarterback in this offense.
Nope.
I'm actually very happy with it. We saw what he did towards the second half of the year. The weather stays good in Tampa. He plays in a lot of domes because thank goodness to Atlanta and the Saints being in his division. So we don't have to worry about the nasty winter. And he gets to go to New England for a revenge game this year. And
he should break the yardage record in that game.
And he will probably throw 6 touchdowns because Bruce Arians will feed that. Bruce Arians will feed into that.
Yeah, he probably will.
All right. So Dami terrific. His ADP is ADP. I don't even care what it is. It's probably perfect. That's way too low a quarterback for just this year. Dynasty
Ninth QB, 73rd overall.
Yep. Give me Tommy terrific. Running back room. We got Leonard Fournette. We got Ronald Jones, and we got who's the guy they added?
Rojo. Keyshawn Vaughn.
They added somebody though. Keyshawn Vaughn. They added a
Lenny Fournette.
I forgot.
Rojo and Keyshawn Vaughn. They didn't know. They didn't.
Hang on. I have the depth
chart.
charts.
Yeah, they added someone off of free agency, but
are we talking about Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, he's a pass catching guy.
I got it. Hang on. I'm scrolling.
Okay, it doesn't matter. He's not
Giovanni Bernard.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah, no, LaShawn McCoy retired. Retired.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they got Gio, Keyshawn Vaughn, Fournette, and Jones.
It's all it's all bad. None of them are going to finish as RB1. None of them might finish.
Do
as
you
RB2.
want a Texans running back or a Bucks running back? If so, which one?
I would rather have DJ.
David Jones.
Ronald Jones. I still believe in it.
Rojo finished 2 spots ahead of him, but Tom Brady and Bruce Arians are fickle mistresses, and if he screws up once, playoff Lenny's coming in, and if he messes up, here comes Gio. So I don't like any of
I
that.
think Keyshawn Vaughn might be on the outs. I'm hearing a lot of bad reports out of camp that the coaching staff is not happy. I don't know if they're going to cut him, but he might be a special teams duty.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is listed 4th on the depth chart. But I don't know about like Rojo's kind of like Chris Carson, where he's like, I have to prove it, but he screws up a lot. Like he drops passes, he misses pass protection stuff. I don't think Brady's going to put it up with it.
He
at
had
44.
some games towards the end of the season though, and we didn't get training camp last year. We're going to get training camp with him and Tom Brady.
Yeah, it's true. Makes a big difference.
And he, you know what? He probably was like calling Tom every week, like, "Hey man, like, so what do I need to do? I'm looking at this play at this time mark. What do you think we need to do?" And Tom's like, "Oh, I just looked at that 5 minutes ago. You should have went left instead of right." Or I guarantee if he's working like that with it, we're good.
But like if DJ's healthy, he's getting a lot of dump offs from Tyrod.
He's playing with. There's only 12 dudes in the box, and he's slow.
Okay,
David Johnson is slow.
He's just got to catch the ball. That's the point. He doesn't have to do anything with it after that.
All right, let's talk about what's exciting in Tampa Bay. The wide receivers: Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown's there, but he did have a little bit of offseason surgery. He'll be there week 1, I'm pretty sure.
And lawsuits, but it's okay.
Whatever. Who doesn't deal with lawsuits? Trevor Bauer.
No, that one got thrown out. I got thrown out. He's good.
Oh, good. Yeah. Glad to hear it.
Good. Well, it doesn't really matter. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, they have their roles entrenched. He didn't really make that big of an impact on him when he was there. This is just another piece of eye candy. Chris Godwin was banged up, and he had a little bit of case of the yips towards the end of the season, which wasn't great. But still,
pins in his hand.
You know, finger. You catch a football with a broke finger.
I don't want to hear excuses.
Pins
all right?
in the hand.
On a points per game basis, though, he was better. Chris Godwin was. He had 15.9 points per game. Mike Evans had 15.5. So he was actually better than him on a points per game basis. They're both viable options, and they're both going to be great for your fantasy team. So.
Who's the number 1? If you had to take one, who are you taking?
In PPR, Godwin. Evans. In half or standard, Evans, because he had 13 touchdowns last year.
Godwin and everything.
He's Brady's favorite red zone target.
I do worry about the Antonio Brown stealing a bunch of stuff because we looked at it from week 8 on. He played half a season pretty much. He was a wide receiver. I think we said 2, a high-end wide receiver 2, low wide receiver 1. If you doubled his points to make it a full season. And for some reason, Tom Brady and Antonio Brown have a good rapport. I'm just saying they do.
You're not wrong.
Yes.
So there's a lot of good wide receivers there. I don't think you can really go wrong with any of them based on their ADP because Antonio Brown is so late. You're telling me I can get him as a guy that I can put on my bench in case there is any Mike Evans injuries or Chris Godwin injuries, who have both been injured before.
Yep.
That's true.
All right, Rob Gronkowski, OJ Howard. Dude.
Gronk is
some of the best tight ends we talked about all season.
Gronk.
OJ Howard, though, he's just, I don't know, the injuries and everything like that, they're kind of starting to add up. He's coming off the torn Achilles. Gronk was he was like tight end 8 last year.
Yeah, 9.
That's
again,
the guy you want.
We talk about a full offseason to work out to be ready for football.
Are you sure he's working out, or is he just changing his shirts and working out one day a week?
No, because he'll have to be at camp. Like Brady.
Oh, that's right. People can actually put eyes on him this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll actually be in shape. That's good.
He's working his liver out. He's probably drinking a lot.
Well, that's fine.
That was so genius last year when he did that. That was great.
Dude, if that's a Gronk thing, that's a Gronk thing. You know the thing is, like, we say that about Gronk, we laugh about it. If that was Antonio Brown doing it, we'd be like, this dude just can't keep his head straight, can't play the game right.
That's because Gronk still produces, even when he slacks off.
Gronk did not produce till the end of the season, boys. He was out of shape to start the season. He was bad. Nope. He was very bad.
Tight end 9.
Well, Bruce Arians said that he wasn't in shape. He acknowledged that.
Yeah.
Bruce Arians isn't in shape. He should be quiet.
Well, it's okay. He don't have to be to do it. Yep.
Rex Ryan's never been in shape a day in his life. So, and he's AFC title game coach, Rex Ryan.
Oh,
and he did just fine for himself. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Where is Gronk?
Best quarterback in the division? Tom Brady.
You got Matt Ryan,
it's Brady.
Tom Brady. Yeah, Tom Brady.
No Sam Darnold love here, boys?
No.
I like him, but he's not. Brady's a QB1.
Really hard to say it.
Like every year.
And if Jameis Winston starts 17 games, he could
Mr.
finish as the number one QB.
Mr. 30 for 30. He was what, top 5 that year?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He could finish.
If he throws 5 more touchdowns and 5 less interceptions, yeah, he's probably the.
So the safest bet we'll say is Tom Brady. The most volatile is either Sam Darnold or Jameis Winston.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? I think Jameis Winston's the most volatile, and then Sam Darnold's the biggest question mark.
Yeah.
Best wide receiver. There's a lot here. Is it Calvin Ridley?
Michael Thomas.
No, it's Michael
Michael
How
Thomas?
dare you?
Mike Evans? Chris Godwin?
It's Thomas.
Michael Thomas.
That's disrespectful.
If
How many-
Taysom Hill's quarter-
If Taysom Hill's his quarterback, that's no. In PPR, he's still probably getting a lot of volume.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's Taysom Hill though, then I will pivot to. Then I'll
Again, Michael
to
Thomas
Calvin
is the safest bet,
Yeah,
but I
But
think
if it's
Chris
not-
Godwin and Mike Evans have the biggest. Like they could just light it up.
I would agree.
When you week games and stuff like that.
If Brady goes scorched earth because it's like, oh well, I really do want to fill out the rest of my hand with these rings.
I could see him throwing 6 touchdowns against the Patriots at Gillette.
Absolutely, you could. And Godwin's
I'm starting
not
all
far
my
removed from
Patriots. You bet I'm not starting Gronk in that game because I guarantee you he targets Gronk like 3 times in the end zone.
Yeah,
He
probably.
wants Gronk to spike that thing in the end zone.
Revenge game.
All right. Best tight end in the division is
Pitts.
Gronk.
Pitts.
Gronk?
Pitts.
It's Gronk. Gronk until
Pitts.
further notice.
Nope, Gronk finished 8th or 9th. I got to go with Pitts because I said he finished 7th. So boom, Pitts.
Yeah, but Gronk can finish
You
6th
hope
if he
he
comes in
finishes.
healthy.
He
Yeah,
won't.
that's true. He'll come in
He
shape.
won't.
He'll be fine.
No, he won't.
Again, though, I think Gronk is the safest. Pitts has the best chance to be a tight end 1, though.
Did we do running back?
No.
No, because
Okay.
it's a crapshoot.
No, it's not. There's
Oh, no, it's
Kamara or
CMC.
McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kamara, McCaffrey.
Oh, I actually no. Kamara is my 1-1. So
I'm
I
still
go Kamara.
going with C-Mac. I'm still going with CMC.
Nah.
I'm still going to CMC because, yes, the injuries scare me, but even when he's on the field,
He's
and it was
just
soft tissue last year, so
He
it's
is
not a chronic
that
problem. It was
good.
Pencil
all
me in
soft tissue last year,
for
right?
right around 1,000 yards rushing, like 800 yards receiving, and 80 catches. I'm good with Alvin Kamara.
Do you guys think CMC
Oh.
would have played had they have had a better chance to make the playoffs last year? I do.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
of course
for
they
sure.
would have.
Yeah, he would have played. He could have played.
Yep. All right. That is the AFC and NFC South. Oh, we didn't do sleepers. Let's do a sleeper. Your best sleeper from both divisions. Pick one.
Ooh,
Gross. My best sleeper, I will go Terrace Marshall from Carolina. I like
right.
him.
That's a good one. I like it.
And from the AFC South, I will go with. I want to go Paris Campbell from the AFC South. I like him a lot. He's got the talent. He just can't stay healthy.
I say Antonio Brown.
Stole mine, but that's good.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
No, I'll say Traquan Smith. I'll throw Josh a bone.
Mine is
Average.
Chuba Hubbard in the NFC.
Shut up.
Chuba Hubby.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And in the AFC, I'm going to go DJ Chark.
All right. Is that really sleeper?
I don't know. I'm just looking. I'm just trying to think here real
Yeah,
quick.
that's fair.
We'll go Chark. We'll go. I didn't think about this ahead of time. You know what? Screw it. We're going Jack Doyle. I'm thinking. I think he finishes above Kyle Pitts in the tight end rankings this year.
Oh, pie bet? Pie bet?
I will gladly take that 5 bet.
You got to take 3. I take 1.
No.
What?
Well, after you've had one, what does it really matter?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That way, all 3 of your kids can give it to you.
Oh, that's true. All right.
I do love Michael Pittman too.
Putting that. Check it.
Draft Alvin
Write it
Kamara
down.
1-1. Draft
Write
Alvin
it down,
Kamara
somebody.
1-1.
All right, boys. Get us out of here.
Thanks for tuning in to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Please check out our social media. Brad is going to be at Tack Jones because he's sharp as a tack. Eric is at Guns of L19, and I'm at FF Josh Hughes. You can also check out the show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Empty Wagon FF. And don't forget to check out our website, fsa-fr.com. Get whatever you want, including some sweet merch. We love you guys, and we will see you next week. Bye.